What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds. Today, we're back with another new purchase, something that I've wanted pretty much my entire life, and some of you are going to really laugh about it. You saw the thumbnail. This is, honest to God, one of my dream cars, and I've never been able to find one or afford one. Take your pick, one or the other, sometimes both. I finally found one that I think I got for a really good price. I just hope that it's actually a good car because I bought it sight unseen from an auction for $3,000. And this is a 1988 Chevy Cavalier Z24. So here it is, my dream car. You know what they say, never meet your heroes, right? If you have a dream car, it's probably best you leave it as a dream car and never own it because it will probably ruin your entire perspective of your hero. I really do believe that the same thing applies to people meeting your hero on television or from a movie and meeting your cars that you've always wanted. This we'll find out together. You guys are going to think I paid too much for this, but honestly, I think I got a good deal on it as long as the listing was accurate. And if the listing was not accurate, I am SOL because there's no takebacks. There's no returns on something like this. I bought this car for $3,000. They would not take a single penny less for this car. $3,000 for a 1988 Chevy Cavalier Z24 with some miles on it. I don't remember the mileage, but I keep thinking it's right around 100,000 miles, maybe just a little bit more. This has a 2.8 liter multi-port fuel injected V6, which is an engine that honestly I've always really loved. Some people hate them, they think they're junk. I've always had great luck with these, and I spent a good portion of my younger years riding around in tons of different General Motors vehicles with this exact engine because cars like, well, not like this, were all I could afford. Cars with the 2.8 V6. Never could get my hands on the Z24. And I can already hear your comments on the wheels. Let's just get this over with because I can see the hate comments coming in on these wheels right now. All right, there you go. Go ahead, take it in. Take it all in. It's going to take you a minute. Your eyes aren't deceiving you. These are some wild wheels, guys. These are some really wild wheels. They are aluminum. They are not hubcaps. All right, now that we got that out of the way, you guys can start arguing in the comment section about how awesome the wheels are or how hideous they are. Personally, I love them. And yes, the car looks as good in person as it looks on camera, and the car is actually very, very dirty. Someone really loved this car because Cavaliers from this era did not age well. So somebody obviously took really good care of this car. And I'm glad they did because if they hadn't have, I wouldn't have bought this vehicle for myself. You've got these interesting hood scoops. You also have a sunroof. In the trunk, let's pop it. I've got a tag on it, so we're ready to go for a ride. But here's what I've got in the trunk. Boxes of stuff. And this I thought was kind of interesting. We have a list. VIN number, built 5 of 88. The engine, an LB6, VIN W, Z24. The dates on this stuff, well, we've got 2012. We've got 2009, 2002. We've got 2000. And back here, 09, 08, 2002. Battery. And here's an interesting one. 1990. 8/1 of 1990 at 18,470 miles, oil pressure 20 at 500 and 45 at 3,000, 60 miles an hour at 2,800 RPM. So somebody was keeping some pretty detailed records on this car. Serpentine belt, plugs, their ACR44 LT5M plugs, oil for the transmission, which is a THM 125C. I mean, like I said, somebody really loved this car. You've got a car cover that came with it, some temporary tags, along with some permanent plates. I don't know why the permanent plates are in here. That's a little odd. We have a brand new factory AC Delco fuel pump. And along with the pump, we have the sock to go along with it. Looks like somebody recently replaced the EGR valve. These things can be very problematic, so that's good. They even included the old one. we have some duplicolor paint, auto spray. This is, what color is this? This is DSGM360 Bright Blue M, and it's mostly full. This thing right here, I couldn't tell you what this is. I have worked on cars like this the majority of my life, guys, and I have no clue what this part is. What this looks like to me is the vacuum ball that all of these GMs and Fords had from back in the day, but this is not the typical hard plastic ball. This is like a cylinder, but I'm almost certain, I don't know, it says Airlift Company, Poly Air Division, 46125. I don't know. I literally have no clue what that is. And then in here, we have an oxygen sensor, brand new oxygen sensor. Is this a factory? It is a factory AC Delco. This is probably old. This has probably been around for a while. Looks like we've got, I thought maybe these were spark plugs, a map sensor. All right. And what is this? It just says sensor. Let's open it up and take a look. It's a sensor of some sort, probably brand new, never been out of the box. Oh, this, actually this, it looks like maybe this was used. I don't know. This is your throttle position sensor. Either way, these are parts that commonly fail on these cars, so I'm going to keep everything that this comes with. Tell me it comes with an idle air control valve, because that's another one that tends to fail on these vehicles. This is Wells, so this is probably some type of an ignition. The idle air control valve, no joke. I was just talking about this. Brand new in the box. Idle air control valve. What else we got? A thermostat. This is a 160 thermostat, never been installed. Somebody just included everything. And then whatever this is, I feel bad coming in here and just kind of opening all this stuff up. It's been, oh, an ignition control module. No joke. I've got everything that I need to keep this car running for the next 20 years right here in this trunk. So now that we had fun going through the trunk, why don't we unlock the car and take a peek at the interior, take a peek under the hood. And this is honestly what sold me on the car. Honest to God, is the interior. I have never seen a car from this generation with an interior that looks this good. And I'm not kidding you. It literally looks this good in person, just like you're seeing it on camera. It looks this nice, guys. Take a look around. Look at the back seat. The only downside that I've been able to find, the package tray is great. The only downside that I have found to this car is the headliner. And it's not bad, but it's sagging. But the headliner is complete, which is important. The cardboard under it is still there. This headliner can be fixed, so I am going to find a headliner specialist out here, and I want to see if we can't have this headliner completely redone, because I want to save it. And honestly, that does look kind of bad, and that's the worst part of the whole car. Look at this dashboard. There is not a crack, no sun fading, all of the controls. Look at this. The factory Delco auto reverse tape deck, an aftermarket switch, and a place to hold your cassette tapes. You've got a little place for change and other little tidbits here and there. Let's see what's in the glove box. Some tickets and a trunk release. Look how clean. I mean, everything, and here's the computer. Everything in this car is just so clean. Look at these door panels. Even the armrests, absolutely beautiful. Crank windows, very smooth operating. Locks, like a brand new car. Now, this car is not highly optioned, and I'm kind of glad that it's not, because that means less things to go wrong. And look how the door closed. Did you hear? Listen to this. Look at the body lines. It's perfect for me. It has a few nicks and little scratches here and there, but I mean, overall, the majority of this car is in excellent condition, guys, and I would call this better than just your average driver quality car. This is way better than just an average driver quality. And when I look at the door, I'm looking to see, has there been a repaint done? Well, you can tell by this sticker, it's never been taped off. All of this is original. This car has never been painted, guys. This is all factory. Yeah, she's actually wearing her factory paint from 1988, and it still looks this good. The driver's seat, especially with 100,000 miles, you would expect there to be damage, maybe to the piping. Nothing. To the bolsters, nothing. This, I guess it's kind of directional, I don't know. The thing looks so good, guys. And I know everybody's wondering, does it have the digital cluster? Those were actually known to be very problematic, and they were also known to catch on fire from time to time. No, this has the analog gauge cluster with 111, oh, it's got more miles than I thought it did. 111,860 miles on the odometer. There's your Cavalier Z24 badge for the steering wheel, the horn. We do have cruise control, which is nice. You've got your headlights and your dimmer switch over there. And then over here, you have your windshield wipers, and it even has, let's see, we have delay, we have wipe washer, and we have a rear window defogger. There's your climate control and of course the stereo again. And it looks like the oil was being changed. Oh, wow. Yeah, this car has been sitting for years. I didn't know that. I did not know that. This sticker says February 8th of 2017. It was supposed to get an oil change at 114,000 miles. It has 111,000 miles, and this is 2023. Guys, that was 6 years ago. It was due for an oil change 6 years ago. In here, you've got an ashtray that has never been used. Let's pop the hood, because that's the business side of things. And then we'll fire it up, and we'll take it for its first test drive since this thing has been dropped off. I didn't do it without you. I haven't had time. I've been too busy with all of my other cars to get, well, to get to this. It's, wow, really? This is filthy. This is, I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm not sure that I looked at any pictures of under the hood before I bid on this. This looks horrible. Oh, we're pressure washing this. So that Cal induction hood is legit. It has a rubber gasket that fits over your air filter right here. I was not aware that that was actually a functioning hood. I didn't know that. Here's your 2.8 liter V6. I love this engine. And the reason I love it is because for me, this is one of the easiest engines to work on, and let me tell you why. I spent so much of my time as a youth under the hood fixing these things. Intake gaskets, head gaskets, valve cover gaskets, spark plugs. I spent so much time working on these engines when I was younger. I can still work on one of these with my eyes closed, man. I can't tell you how many of these transmissions I've had to change as well. The trans are kind of a bear to do, but you can do it without taking the whole subframe out of the car. Believe me, I've done it. Looks like it's still on its factory R12 system, which I'm sure doesn't work. It does look like somebody had, at one point more recently, changed the spark plugs and the plug wires. These things tend to break. You've really got to be careful with these vacuum lines, and you need to check these because these will leak and break. Somebody put a zip tie right here. I assume this is the idle air control valve, very small on this. They've got a zip tie holding it on because the clip broke. It needs a serious bath under the hood. We will get out the super clean. Look at this. This is all like grimy. I mean, everywhere, even down here, it's all just, it's very grimy. Okay, I don't know where all that came from, but yeah, there's a lot of, well, we're going to back the car up and see if there's any oil leaks under it. We'll start it up and back it up, see if it's pouring oil out somewhere. I don't know. This battery is a, what is it? Federated Auto Parts. Never heard of it, but this car did come from Michigan. And I know you're worried about rust. The car has very minimal rust, normal rust that any car would have. Overall, aside from being dirty under the hood, actually looks pretty good. Let's check the oil. I'm betting it's clean since it looks like it just had an oil change only 6 years ago. Oh, I just got splattered in the face. Oh, that oil is very clean. Yeah, that's nice looking oil. Obviously, we're going to change the oil before we go doing too much with this car. I really did. I just got splattered in the face It's my eyes, everything. Let's check the transmission fluid. Please be pink. It is. It is good, good, good. There we go. Nice pink fluid. That's good. That's good. That was my biggest concern, is that the transmission hasn't been taken care of. Let's check the brakes. They're full. It's topped up and nice. And power steering fluid. Let's see how that looks as well. Look how clean that is. Wow, clean. Somebody took care of every fluid on this car. And the coolant is just above the full cold line, so it's got fresh coolant as well, and it's full. So I guess what that means is this thing is ready to fire up. So let's take the keys and give it a start. We'll let it run for a few seconds. And look, the car has been sitting here. Here you go. Here's some proof that I have not touched this car. Look at this. Ants built a nest under my back tire. This car hasn't even been sitting here that long. It was dropped off maybe 3 or 4 days ago. I just haven't had time to mess with it, and the ants built a nest. Okay. Well, we're going to find out if the battery's good and starts the car up. We have a service engine soon light down here. How cool is this old thing? Wow. It fired right up. It runs perfect. No joke. It's got a quarter of a tank of gas. Oil pressure is right around, what is that, around 60? 60 PSI cold. Voltage is charging, idle, currently high idle, sitting at just over 1,000 RPM. And radio. Let's try FM. This is a... Oh, wow. All right. Hey, the radio works. I'd love to put a cassette in that tape player. The time is absolutely incorrect. It is 4:25. That says it is 7:24. Let's kick on. I guess we're going to turn on the heat. It blows out of the vents. That never happens, guys. Normally, when you kick on the heater AC in one of these old cars, it blows out the defroster, blows out of the floor. It actually blows out of the proper place. What about on defrost? Does it switch? It does. Comes out of the defroster. All right, air conditioning. Let's try. No, I didn't hear the compressor kick on. All right, I didn't expect that we were going to have working air conditioning. No. That's okay. We'll turn that off. We don't need any of that. Does the horn work? It does. Oh, it has tilt wheel too? It has tilt. So they didn't get the power locks. They didn't get the power windows, but they did get tilt and cruise control, which is important, and air conditioning. Steering feels good. Let's kick on the headlights. And let's try out the windshield wipers. Delay. They work. High, low, delay. Yeah, and let's turn them off. What about wash? Yeah, no joke. Everything works. All we got to do now is find out if it runs and drives. Even the corner lights are working, guys. Look at that. Oh, the hood light works. What a beauty. Like I said, I know this isn't going to be the most popular car on the channel, but there's something about it, man. There's a reason I've been buying all of these cars from the 80s and the 90s. It just takes me back. And I know that back then, most people didn't care for these cars all that much. They were definitely not known for reliability. They all had their problems. It's just kind of a rough time in American auto manufacturing history. You know, these just weren't great cars, but these are the cars of my childhood, guys. And I miss it. I do. I miss the old days. I miss being younger. I miss being more carefree, less responsibility, less stress. I just miss it. And somehow owning these cars, it kind of takes me back, makes me feel good, makes me feel like I'm back in a better time. Cars like this right here, I miss the days when you saw Fox bodies cruising the streets, man. These cars used to be everywhere with loud, obnoxious exhaust just flying down the streets, man. I thought they were some of the slickest cars in existence. I loved American muscle. I really did. Cars like this always brought a smile to my face, and even though the old Cavi over here is not a V8, it is not a muscle car, it was just a phenomenal looking car. It really was. I've had an affinity for Cavaliers, well, pretty much since they started coming out. I remember the 80s, they were much more square bodied, and I loved them too. It's just one of those things. I don't know why I love this car so much. All I know is, to me, it's an absolutely beautiful car, and this one is a time capsule. Another example is my 1990 or 1991 Pontiac Sunbird LE. Pretty base model, convertible. It's probably locked. No, it's not. Just these old cars, man. This one's in relatively good shape too. All the windows work. 2.0 single overhead cam, old school timing belt motor. Top works, windows work, air conditioning works, and it's still factory R12. There's just something about these old cars, it just makes me really happy. They make me feel good. And if you walk into my shop, you'll see what I'm talking about, man. I've got more of these old cars from the 80s and the 90s. These particular ones are from the 80s, man. The 87 Chevy Monte Carlo SS. This thing had been parked in a garage for years and years and years, completely forgotten about. It's got 107,000 miles on the odometer, but even so, the interior, it looks really, really nice. Even the headliner is intact on this one. You know, back seats look really nice. It needs a decent cleaning, but overall, this car is another just beautiful car. Underpowered for sure, as just about everything was back in these days, but just a beautiful car, in my opinion. I absolutely love these. This door doesn't close nearly as easy as the old Cavalier. And then the 87 Buick Grand National, you know, kind of a real trophy car from back in the day, right? This is a car that almost everybody wanted. They were pretty dang expensive for those days. The 3.8 sequential fuel injection, port turbo V6. Just another example of some amazing cars that were coming out in the 80s, leading up into the 90s. You got the T-tops. That was such a popular thing back in the day, man. I've never really been a T-top type of person. I don't like the way they sound going down the road. Even with good weather stripping, they're kind of noisy, and I think it just affects the nice ride quality because you have to listen to a bunch of noise. They're also notorious for leaking, for breaking, for people stealing them because they're actually worth a little bit of money. But just seeing all of these cars sitting out here makes me happy. Every time I come here, I feel good being surrounded by these cars because for even just a moment, it takes me back to my youth. And as I get older, I find myself looking back more and more to my childhood, the vehicles that were around back in the days, and just remembering a better time and, quite honestly, a better place. Now, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one, right? Surely you guys can relate. Things are tough these days. They really are. Things just, they're not good. And you really start looking back at the past, at some of the better times, and that's where I'm at. With that said, you can't change the things that are happening today. Things are the way they are, but I don't think it hurts to look back and kind of reminisce and remember some of the better times that you had in life. I think that's good. I think it's healthy. Why don't we take a look at the gauges? This thing's been sitting here running for a while. Temperature gauge looks good. Oil pressure sitting at a steady 40 at idle. RPMs are down to about 750. I'm going to back this up and we're going to see if she's got any oil leaks. Brakes feel good. smooth as silk in here, man. Let me adjust this mirror. There we go. Yeah, we're gonna back up and just take a quick peek and see if we're leaking anything. Look at that. There's that ant's nest. And look, they literally made a home there. They're all running around like crazy now. They can't figure out what to do. Well, I can tell you what not to do. Don't build your home under a car's tire. So here it is. This is where she's been sitting here idling. And as you can see, there is nothing on the ground. So I'm gonna say we're safe to take her out on a ride. Let's get in here, buckle up. We're gonna do our typical 5-mile run up and 5-mile run back. All right, here we go. I'm so excited to drive my new car. How many people have ever been excited to drive a 1988 Chevy Cavalier? None. Like, nobody in history has ever said they were excited to drive a Chevy Cavalier. I am beyond stoked, man. Let me adjust this mirror a little bit. Even the mirrors work. Look, no joke. That old school little ball handle thing there, man. The seats, and I'm surprised by this because obviously now that I'm a little older, I'm a little bit bigger. I'm 208 pounds. I'm 6 foot tall, 5'11 and a half. And I'm really shocked as to how well I fit into this car and how comfortable these seats are. They actually feel kind of bolstered. You fit in them nicely. They're cushioned, soft. Here we go. This is our first drive. Please, please, please be okay. I know $3 grand probably isn't a ton of money, but I think $3,000 is a lot for one of these. Here we go. Get you down on the dashboard there. Shifted. Nice too. 45, almost 45 miles an hour. You know we got to try that cruise control out too when we get up to speed. So it shifts. Oh man, the steering wheel is perfectly straight. It drives straight as an arrow. The road is curved, so I have to keep holding the wheel a little bit. But I mean, it drives straight. It's not leaning or pulling to one side or the other. It's hard to admit that a Chevy Cavalier is one of my dream cars, but I'm doing it, and I'm doing it publicly because I'm not ashamed. This legitimately is one of my dream cars. I've just always wanted one, and I can't believe I've got it. I can't believe I'm driving it. And although $3,000 is a lot of money for an old Cavalier, I think this one, this particular one, I can only speak to this one, I think this one was well worth it. The suspension, it probably, and I think it feels better than a brand new Cavalier. This thing is handling the bumps like it's nothing. And if you're, let me just be quiet for a minute. Do you hear that? What you're hearing is silence. There's no wind leaking through the seals. There's no rattling from the plastic dashboard or the plastic doors. The cruise control is set at 65. I'm going to show you guys something. Look, there's my foot. I'm moving my feet away, all right? And we're not changing speed. Look, we're doing over 65 miles an hour. And it's quiet. And my feet are still nowhere near the gas or the brakes. No joke. No check engine light. It runs like an absolute top. What a beautiful old car. So, needless to say, this is one that I'm probably going to hold on to. And now that I've said it, that means it'll be up for sale soon. No, I'm kidding. I've decided that there are some cars that I really want to just buy to hold on to because I want them for myself. I'm going to film them, obviously. And I'm going to cross my fingers and hope that the videos do well. I'm going to hope that there's enough of you out there that remember the 80s and the 90s. And you're going to want to see these cars too and share the experience with me. But there's a lot of cars that I do want to buy just for myself, and this is one of them. So I have no intentions of sending this one down the road at any point in the near future. I've had a lot of you asking if the Grand National is going to be up for sale, and that's one that I'm honestly debating. I know that it's one of those cars that once you get your hands on it, you should never sell it. You should hold on to it. But at the same time, I'm getting ready to start a major project. We're going to be putting, gosh, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We're going to be putting over $13,000 worth of high-end components under the hood of that Monte Carlo SS. That's going to be kind of a personal project of mine, something that I get to build and share with you guys. It's going to be almost 500 horsepower when we get that build done, and it should be a fantastic car. So I'm just trying to decide, should I have the Monte Carlo SS and the Grand National? Because chances are the Grand National will not get driven. It's just going to sit in the shop. The Monte Carlo SS, however, you can bet money I'm going to be driving that one. So it's kind of got me wondering, since I spent $24,000 buying that car, if maybe it wouldn't be wise to sell it, cash out of it, and just enjoy the Monte Carlo SS and these other cars that I've purchased. With that said, other cars, I have a 73 Mustang coming to the channel very, very soon, and yesterday I just bought a 90s Firebird Formula. That's right. It should be here by Wednesday or Thursday, which means next Saturday or Sunday, if you guys are interested, we could potentially have videos of a 73 Mustang and a 90s Firebird Formula. I'm really excited about both of them, honestly, because they're both cars that, even though a lot of you probably aren't going to care for them all that much, they're both cars that I really, really like myself. This car is going to need some gas pretty soon, but I think we can make it back home, so I'm going to flip it around, give it a little gas. Oh yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. There's 70. It shifts like butter. The ride quality is honestly pretty damn good. I know, I can already hear the comments. I've already seen some of the comments on my Instagram page where, you know, there's some people out there that just don't like cars like this. And believe it or not, I understand that. I do. I get it. These cars aren't for everyone. But, you know, I've had several people on there, they're junk. Those cars are crap boxes from the beginning. They're horrible vehicles. None of them were good. And it's like, wow. Oh, the sun visor works too. Hey, it doesn't flop around or fall over either. No cigarette burns. Smells nice. Look, I understand that everybody's got their own opinions, and that's fine or whatever, but there's no need to come on somebody else's channel and talk trash about something that they love or something that they really enjoy. I could not imagine being the type of person that clicks on somebody's video. Like, imagine this. I know for most of you, you can't figure this one out. I can't either, but there are some people out there that will see a video on a car, say a Chevy Cavalier. They know that they hate the Chevy Cavalier, but they're going to click the video anyway. They're going to watch the video, and then they're going to tell you in the comment section how awful the car is, what a piece of crap it is, and literally just trash talk this person's happy moment, this car that they really love. They're going to run it into the ground because they don't like the car. Well, here's what I do. If I see a video, a thumbnail, a title that says that this video is going to be about this, and I know that I don't like whatever it is, I don't watch the video. I just don't click on it. That's just me, though. I don't click the video. I don't go in and talk trash on somebody else's project or somebody else's happiness. There's no reason to. I have my own happiness. I have my own projects. I have my own things that bring me joy in life. So I don't go around looking to bring other people down. If anything, I like to bring other people up. Let's get back to the car. She made it. Turn signals. I can't believe this. The brakes are smooth as silk. The steering feels great. We're going to pop the hood and see if there's any smoke or anything, because, I mean, we've been cruising 70 miles an hour for quite a while now. Let's throw her in park. Check the dashboard real quick. Oil pressure has definitely come down since we left. It's sitting right around 20, just at 20 psi, which is what that paperwork said it was. Voltage looks good, temperature looks good. Fuel looks like we're gonna need some here in the near future. And no warning lights anywhere on the dash at all. Does the e-brake work? It does. Yeah, the e-brake even works. What about the, ooh, I heard that. I kicked on the rear defrost and you could hear the engine bog. No way, man. This car is awesome. You know what else is awesome? Look at that oil pressure gauge in the center of your screen. I'm gonna give it a little throttle. How about that? A real oil pressure gauge in a car from the 80s. That's almost unheard of, isn't it? Let's check this window too. Oh, smooth as butter. It goes up and down super easy. Yeah, I'm gonna say that I scored on this. I was a little concerned because, you know, $3,000 isn't exactly a lot of money for a car, but when you're talking about something, you know, older like this, yeah, it had me a little bit concerned. I was worried about what I got, but now that I've got it, yeah, no smoke. We need to clean up under the hood for sure. We'll pressure wash it, we'll get some super clean under there, and we'll make this sucker look new again. And after that, man, I think all there is to do is just basic, look how easy that hood closed. Basic maintenance. That's all I would do to it, is just some basic maintenance. Change the oil, transmission fluid, change the fuel filter, and enjoy the car. Fill it up with some good fresh gas and keep it relatively clean. That's all you got to do. This car is ready to just be driven. So there you have it, my 1988 Chevy Cavalier Z24 for $3,000. Only you can tell me if it would be worth it to you. I don't know. For me, absolutely all day, every day, I would buy this car 5 more times if I could find 5 more of them at $3,000 a piece. Honestly, this car runs, drives, and looks just as good as you're seeing it on camera, and that never happens. That never happens. I am so happy with this purchase. So stay tuned, because like I said, next week we should have a 73 Mustang coming to the channel with a 351. That should be fun. And I got it for really cheap too. And we also have a 90s, I'm not going to get the specific year, but 80s, 90s Pontiac Firebird Formula. It is a Formula. Yes, it is a Formula. It's relatively low miles too, and it looks like it's pretty original, and that's something that I really appreciate. The only thing I don't like about that is it's got some aftermarket rims, and I want the factory Formula rims. So stay tuned, because I think next weekend you and I are going to have a lot of fun with these new cars coming to the channel. If you enjoyed today's video, hit the thumbs up button and let me know you enjoyed the content. Consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss future videos. And until next time, stay safe out there, everybody. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon in the next one.